Welcome to the Yogalebrity podcast. My name is Angelica Govaert. On the Yogalebrity podcast, we help yoga teachers who want to build online empires, build out their offers. Now, we're talking today about what makes someone successful online versus what are the traits of people who are not successful. Because oftentimes we get a question in the Empowered Yoga Teachers course. We'll get questions about people who are thinking about coming in and joining us. Do you have guarantees? And we don't have guarantees. There's a specific reason why I don't have guarantees, and we're going to get into that today. But we're also going to talk about how you can be successful and what kind of traits will determine people that aren't going to be successful. So if you're having the unsuccessful traits, then maybe you want to rearrange them. So we'll be talking about that today. What are the two different traits? So I want to introduce you to my co-hosts today. I have Tiana is here. Tiana has worked with me for a long time. She worked with me when I owned yoga studios back in the day. And then Francesca here is, she's also been with me at the Yogalebrity team since really the beginning of the Empowered Yoga Teachers movement. So thank you, Tiana, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Love being here.
Oh no, we
Excited
can't
to
hear
get into the
Tiana.
goods.
Tiana is, she's
Oh.
got no sound whatsoever.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Yeah, it says no microphone. You back? You back, Tiana?
We did hear you before.
Tiana's recording will continue on a new track.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. We should
Yay,
have
you're
tested
Okay,
that.
back.
I don't
Sound is
know.
more profitable than
Technical
perfect.
difficulty.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. Francesca is here as well. Hi, Francesca.
Hey, hello.
All right. So today's topic is why do we not give a guarantee and what are things that make people successful versus not successful? So, one of the things you're going to notice in the world of B2B, like business to business, which is what we're in, where we help businesses create businesses, right? So, we help you become a business basically, is that some people are going to do something called a guarantee. Now, everyone, once you get to where you're spending more than a few $1,000s with somebody, everyone is going to have some kind of agreement that you're going to need to sign in order to work with them. And typically that agreement is going to have a lot of different things in it that are like, um, Tiana, you have no microphone again. You had a microphone, but now it's gone.
It says it's using my laptop. My other one's
Oh,
not working, so I just
okay.
unplugged it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
sad. Okay. All right. Anyhow, typically people are gonna sign you up, and they're gonna have some kind of agreement. All right. That's gonna go over like, things like there's no chargebacks, you can't talk about us behind our back. But it's more importantly for you is gonna say things like, these are the deliverables. This is what you're gonna get over the time that you're with us. Right. So for us, it's a 3-month program. I found that if you stretch it out any longer than that, people are not successful. Like, end of story. If you try to make it a longer program, they just don't have success. We do allow people to continue on with us in a mastermind if they want to, but it's such a small number of people. Most people will finish in the 3 months unless they have some kind of major life event. Um, and again, like why take 6 months or a year to create your course? That doesn't make any sense because if you do that, then you're just waiting to make money. So to me, like that, I've been doing this a really long time. Our primary goal with people is to get them to the finish line and to get them to have two things. One, a course that they are happy to promote and an understanding of how to promote it. How do you drive traffic to that course? Because most people will make a course and never make any sales. And the reason why they won't make any sales is because they don't understand how to promote it. And people will say to me like, Angelica, I tried online and I didn't make any sales. It didn't work. And I said, well, did you get eyes on what you sell? Like, did you drive traffic to it? And they're like, what's that? Right. So if people don't see what it is you sell, you won't sell it. In fact, it's like 100 people have to see your landing page before on average one will buy. So if you don't have thousands of people seeing your page every day, you're not going to make sales and you won't be successful online. So keep that in mind, which is why no one can guarantee your success. So when someone puts into their contract that they have a guarantee for you, what that's saying is that they guarantee that you're going to be successful, but you have to follow all these different things that no human being could ever possibly do in order to reach that guarantee. Like for me, I had signed up for something that was going to help me do YouTube ads that ended up not being legitimate. In fact, I found out much later that the guy hadn't run YouTube ads in many years, so he did not know what he was doing. Because I saw him in another YouTube ads course in the community typing in, "I haven't run ads for 2 years. What's going on in ads now?" And I was like, "Oh,
He
glad I got my money
literally
back."
shot himself in the foot.
Oh my gosh. Well, he didn't know. And then I caught him like going into my stuff on Google Drive later, and I was like, "Ooh, I should have removed access. I didn't realize." So anyhow, so what the guarantee that they had said that I had to run 1,000 ad sets and spend like something like $10,000 in ad spend. So like it was just like an astronomical amount that, and there were like other things that you had to do. Like they just make it so that you can't possibly reach their guarantee, right? No one can guarantee your success. So let's say you're opening a yoga studio and you want it to do well, right? But can anybody guarantee that your yoga studio is going to do well? Can anybody guarantee that people are going to come in, that it's going to make money? No, nobody can guarantee that. So why do you think that someone can guarantee you success online? They can't. They cannot. It's not possible. So don't ask somebody to do that, because the reality is if they're saying that, that right there should be a red flag to you that it is not going to get you where you want to go.
I have 2 comments. My first comment is that you can think of this in like purchasing a house. If it was 2005 and you were like, "Oh, this is great. Everything is affordable. You're ready to buy." And you're like, "If I do buy it, I'm guaranteed to appreciate. My property value is going to go up. I can sell in 5 years. I'll make another 500,000." But then nobody could know the crash that ultimately happened in 2009, where a lot of people lost their house. So I think that's a good example of like, you will never have a guarantee. Like, even something as simple as property value, like buying property on a base level, that's like, yeah, I'm gonna have value at some point, but that's also never guaranteed, because you cannot know what the market is going to be as you progress in your life. And this
That's a
rings the same for something like this,
That's a really good example,
right?
because I bought my condo in Miami for 205,000 in 2005. The market crashed. I ended up losing my condo, and I looked it up the other day. It sells right now for less than 200,000.
See? That's why it, like, literally
Wow.
came to me as you were talking. I was like, even as something
Yeah.
that, like, as common knowledge, people would think, like, "Oh, I'm gonna invest in property." It's always a good idea to invest in property, do not get me wrong, but you cannot go into it expecting a guarantee of value, because you
Mhm.
just don't know what the market is gonna give you. And then I wanted to touch on, like, the fact that you said that's not what we do. And I think that's a huge testament to like people like what you experienced with the ads, is that I feel as if you're coming across a contract that is giving a guarantee that you are going to have X amount of success. Not only is that a red flag, but that just shows how much they care more about them than they care about you, because they want to make sure you hit this laundry list of items and laundry, or like a crazy amount of money outside of what you are investing in them and their help, to even get a guarantee and money back, or just guarantee a success in general. That shows way more that they care more about what they're getting out of this transaction than what you're getting. And that's a huge testament to how we operate, because that's not at all what we do. We tell you straight up that the guarantee is never going to be a guarantee. All we can guarantee is that you're going to have the support, and literally we're going to walk you all the way through the finish line no matter what. And I think that's a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
feel like that's more
I wouldn't
important to
say
look for.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I
you
was just
go.
gonna say, and I think that's something that you should be looking for instead of just like a guarantee. Like, what are they gonna do for you at the end of the day besides guaranteeing your success, right? I feel like those are things that you should be looking at.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I wouldn't say we'll walk you all the way to the finish line because we're not going to let you self-sabotage. We're not going to let you dawdle. Those are all things that get in your way, which really leads like right into what are the traits of people that are successful and people that aren't successful. Because when people ask me about guarantees, then they naturally ask you, well, what's your success rate? Right? Success is a very difficult thing to quantify, right? What does success mean to you? Is the success only means to you making money, right? Which, like, all right, well, but if you opened a restaurant and it failed, but then you open another restaurant and it did really well because of the things you learned, was that first restaurant a success or a failure, right? Like, I don't think of the world that way, first of all. But second of all, not everyone operates at the same level. I will wake up very early and work very long days if I have to. I will work 4:30 to 7:30 on a regular basis. I will not take days off. I will work extra hard. I will sacrifice everything else. Somebody today, she was like, "Oh, well, you don't have children." I was like, "Damn straight, I don't. I did, chose not to because I wanted a career and I wanted to make millions of dollars. I didn't want to just get by in life. So I chose to not have children. Yeah, that's a choice that I made. You made a choice to have children, right? There, none of them is worse or better or whatever. It's just part of the game, right? And obviously, not having children was easier for me to build my business when I was owning studios because I didn't have to worry about childcare, because I didn't have to worry about feeding anybody else. I could take more risks. And, you know, online is really kind of the same. It's all the choices that we make, right? And I'm not saying like don't have children, whatever. Like, I mean, if you don't want them, don't have them. But, but what I'm saying is that everything is a choice along the way, right? Now, somebody that doesn't have any children and doesn't have a job and can dedicate full time to building their business, they're going to have success faster, especially if they're motivated to do it, right? Somebody who says things like, "Oh, I just don't know if I look good on camera and I feel like I'm too fat and I'm not doing this perfect and I feel like no one likes me and I don't know what to post." Those people won't make it. Like, end of story, those people are not going to do well. Those are not the traits of a winner. So why would I guarantee someone like that success? If you're saying to me you aren't even going to do the steps that are necessary, like, I don't control Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know these are the steps that I took that made me successful. But if you're not willing to take those steps, how can I guarantee you anything? Right?
At that point, they're just looking all at the wrong things because they're looking at things that are short term, in my opinion, versus things that can be long term. So when you're hyper focused on how you're looking on camera, how often you need to be posting, the time that you need to dedicate to building out a highly desirable offer, then you if you have problem with those things and you have problem with the short-term tasks that are going to get you to your long-term goal, you're not looking over here at the long term, at what these tasks that you get to do are going to ultimately create for you in the long run.
Yeah, that's a really big point too, is like what you get to do. You get
Mhm.
to build an online offer. You have the opportunity to try and see if this will work for you. Right? I had a call with somebody today who was like, this is, I have a amount of savings. I have to be careful with it. Well, what happens when your savings runs out? Like you're not going to have anything then either. So like, why not take the risk to do something that's going to help you pay your bills and help you get where you want to go, right? There's
I feel
there's no
like
guarantee that it will work, but there's 100% guarantee that you're going to run out of that money.
true that. True that. I also think it's worth it to note that when we're talking about the traits of successful people, right, and unsuccessful people, um, they have some similarities, right? Successful people also have hurdles that they have to figure out, right? There are bumps in the road. They complain. Things aren't easy all the time. But the difference between the person who's successful and the person who is not successful is they get over it and they keep figuring it out, right? They keep taking action. They keep working through the situation instead of getting stuck in this, oh, it's too hard. I don't know how I can't do this. Or, I'm never going to be able to figure this
Yeah,
out, or
that's
this
good.
isn't for me, right? The successful
Mhm.
person might have all of those things come up, but the thing is they work through that, right?
They don't self-sabotage, and
Mhm.
I think that's, like, what I've noticed in the past is self-sabotage is so much more prevalent in those that don't carry successful people traits than the opposite. And then they get stuck in that, like Tiana is saying, and they almost get paralyzed to a point where they feel like they can't move forward and they go back to what's comfortable. And the difference is that a successful person doesn't. The successful person takes hold of the opportunity that's at hand and decides this is how my life is now going to be.
Yeah.
That comfortable option's no longer there.
We've literally had people come through the course that have had massive brain injuries, people that have had strokes, people who have that are deaf and do things in American Sign Language, right? And they have success. So when it's like we see the bigger picture because we work with everybody, right? So we know what's going on in each individual person's situation. But every once in a while, we'll have somebody will like, well, I got sick for a weekend. I need more time, or this. And, like, we know that, like, literally someone just went through, like, a major car accident or a life event where their husband died, and they finished, and, like, you're complaining about you were sick for a weekend and you think you should get a whole 'nother month. That to me is, like, mind-blowing. Like, that's why you're not successful, right? Like, that's why you're not being successful because you are looking at the wrong things. You are looking at the wrong things. It's not about, like, having more time to finish it. It's about doing it, prioritizing it, making it a priority, and making it happen.
Priority is a huge one, actually, because I feel like there are a number of people that don't understand that what it is that they're doing, whether they choose to do this with us or with someone else, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking specifically about us, but like just the character traits that I've noticed is that, you know, oh, I lost my train of thought. Dang it. What were we just talking about? I'm sorry. What was the word you just used? Because that's what
Hello,
threw me.
welcome back to the world, Francesca.
Well,
Welcome
what that was
back.
bringing
I
up for
lost my
Hi.
me
train of
was
thought.
that if you keep treating it like a side hustle, it's going to stay a side hustle.
Priority. Yes, thank
Prioritizing your
you. I found it.
business as a business.
Yes, prioritizing, it was the word that threw me off of this, so thank you, because yes, what I notice as a character trait is if you do not understand how to prioritize this as, like, your job now, then you are never going to be able to show up to it in a successful mindset, in a successful, like, way of being. You're gonna always look at the wrong things because, again, you're gonna revert to what's comfortable and not focus on the fact that this is what I get to do to build the life of my dreams. You're not worried about the question of a guarantee. You're not worried about the question of a success rate. You're worried about you and how you can prioritize this to be that thing for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiana.
Yes. Yes.
Got you,
You're
girl.
not worried about what other people are getting or what other people are doing. You're worried about you and your mission. And that's what makes people successful, and it's drive and it's focus. And it's like I had so many times where I would be like something would happen that would be a road bump and I just got back up and kept doing it. And even when I didn't want to get back up and keep doing it, when I didn't believe, and I remember like I just did a Instagram live about this, and you can go back and look at my Instagram live. A bunch of people watched it, and they said it was really inspiring to them to see like my journey was so up and down. Um, but I kept saying to myself, like, but what if to I know it sounded delulu, but I kept saying to myself, like, well, what if it's happening tomorrow and I give up today? What if tomorrow's the day I'm gonna have the success and I gave up today? And so I just kept going. And, like, honestly, that was what happened, is that one day I just got successful, because I never gave up.
Is it I won't say too much if you don't wanna say it on here, but is it, like, relevant to talk about your big bump in the road a couple of months ago as far as ads and what
Oh,
happened
yeah,
and
like,
how we
that
went
it
over
never
that?
goes away. It never goes away.
No.
So, like, Russell Brunson,
Right.
my mentor, the owner of ClickFunnels, I'm in his inner circle, and, he talks about how ClickFunnels, like, was struggling when they launched ClickFunnels 2.0, and the whole business was struggling. And, I didn't even know that was happening. And I remember there's, like, a thing that he did where he, like, had this thing where if you had the most people comment on his video that you would get to be a speaker at the next Funnel Hacking Live. And I literally had the most people comment. Like, I had hundreds of people from all over the world comment that I should be the speaker. And so I went to the event where he announced who the speaker was gonna be, and I wasn't even a person that they were voting on there, and I was like, "What do you mean they're voting?" They said it was gonna be the person who got the most comments, right? And I was, like, looking, and I was like, "Well, surely my name's gonna come up," but it didn't, and it didn't, and it didn't. And then someone else told me, like, they were like, "Oh, well, he only picks people that are in his inner circle. That's why you wouldn't get picked." And then at the end, he literally said, "I don't know why you would think," and he wasn't talking to me because it was like just a big Zoom, but he was like, "I don't know why anyone would think that I would pick them to speak at my event if they weren't in my inner circle." And I was, like, devastated. I was mad at him. I thought he was an awful person. But then come to find out later, his best friend had died that was also like a CEO, and his business was struggling, and they were trying to decide whether or not they wanted to sell the business. Like, there was so much going on in the back end that I wasn't even aware of, right? That was, like, stuff that was happening that made it difficult for him, and he's been in business for, like, 20 years, like, I was just like, "Wow," like, if he can still go through the dark night of the soul, like, of course it's okay for me. So, like, in June, Facebook Meta Ads had a big update where all of a sudden overnight, all my ads stopped working, which means, I have people who work for me full time. I have 3 people who work for me full time, and then a number of other people who work for me part time, and I'm paying everybody's bills really, right? So, um not being able to get any money coming in the door is a massive issue. And so I was really freaked out, and I was like, "This is the end, blah, blah, blah." And then I was like, "That's dumb. Why would you think that? Did Russell Brunson only run one ad? Like, of course, there will be more ads. There's going to be more ads. Just run another ad, figure out what they're doing. There's changes happening right now that we're not super happy about. Like, we typically only work with women. Our median age is like 52. We have women from like 33 to like 78 in the course, but we primarily only work with women. In fact, we've only worked with 2 men the whole time. And now all of a sudden we're getting calls booked with men because of the update with Meta. It's very hard to target just women. Um, and so our ads are going out to men. It's also causing us to get a lot more really mean comments on our content, which is not normal for us. And the men are ruthless. They're like really quite inappropriate in their comments. But I'm not going to give up because of all that. The business has just grown since I figured it out. What happened is I actually figured out all these new ways to track the ads and see what was working and what wasn't working. And I was able to amplify what we did to an even higher level and help even more people. So, I don't think like there's always going to be bumps in the road. That's what makes a good entrepreneur. If you're thinking like someone who gets a paycheck, then you will not be successful as an online entrepreneur. You just won't be successful because this is not a paycheck job. What you do does not have a direct result on the money that you make. It's a collaboration of all the things that you do that then create a bundle of money that is then reallocated, right?
That's exactly why I wanted to bring that up because I witnessed firsthand how challenging that was, where there was a point in time where we didn't have things coming in. It wasn't very long, but it was like, You need to have the kind of character trait that Angelica was talking about and what she adapted in that moment. And that was all hands on deck. What do we need to do? How do we need to figure this out? There's nothing we can do about the fact that this happened. But instead of self sabotaging, or instead of saying this isn't for me, or being like, look, see, the guarantee didn't happen, like it never will when you're an entrepreneur. We got, our feet to the ground and started figuring out what we needed to do. And in fact, we did some incredible numbers following that,
Well, and
because that
that's
was
how
when I was in Italy. And I remember we like shot up real quick after that.
the Facebook group came up after that. That's why we have a Facebook group now, and
Mm,
Francesca goes live in that group every single week. So even if you don't pay to work with us, you could literally work with us by coming to that Facebook live every single week.
yeah.
Friday
Well, I
afternoon.
think what's good to know here is that, like, successful people, they have problems too. They have roadblocks too. I think sometimes there's this misconception of like, oh, they're
Yes.
successful, everything's just working perfect for them. They have no issues. Technology never goes out for them. I'm like, but that's just not true. That's just not
You,
true. Like,
you know that meme of the
successful
guy
people,
that's
they run
like,
into
it's like,
roadblocks.
yes. You know that meme of the like weird character dog guy sitting in the dining room with all the flames around him, like, this is fine. And he's like
Oh
trying to
yeah,
have his coffee. That's what it means
yeah.
to build an online business.
I feel like that's every day for me.
Yes.
Every day. Every day. I just like right before this, the guy came to give us a quote on our trees that are hanging over our neighbor's house. $2,000.
Wow, that's crazy. Are they big? I don't even
They're
remember.
Wow.
huge. Did you not
Oh,
see my
are
Okay.
they?
eucalyptus trees? They're humongous,
Oh, I
and our
didn't walk
neighbor
back
hates
there.
them. So,
Mm,
anyhow, it is what it
Fun.
is. I mean, I don't want him falling on his house. The trees fall on his house, then
Yeah,
I'm
that would be
liable for
worse.
his house,
it's tenfold what he quoted you.
right?
Yeah.
100-fold. I'll buy you a new house, Jamie. Anyhow, that's not what I'm planning to do. I'm just saying, life happens. I think about this a lot. Like, I do really like I've been thinking about this a lot right now with my regular life. Like sometimes it can get really overwhelming. And even like for somebody like me who is like pretty level headed, like sometimes I just think like, my dog's really pretty sick right now. He has a tumor in his heart and we don't know, they gave him 2 weeks to live. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be 2 weeks or it's last time they said that was 2 years ago. So we just try to live every moment. We're not God. We don't know. But I love that. I know it sounds silly, but I love that dog so much, and there's just been, like, moments where I'm like, "Well, I don't wanna really do this without my dog," like, "How am I gonna go on? I don't even know if I wanna go on," like, I know that sounds silly, but, my dog is with me all the time, so I feel like life is just testing us all the time. It's hard, and this isn't easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If it was easy to create an online business, everybody would be doing it. There's a lot of people that aren't doing it right. But here's the thing. If you find somebody who's done what you want to do and you allow them to mentor you, like success leaves clues. Like if you had somebody who already opened restaurants come and help you open your restaurant, like say the guy that owned Nobu came and also helped you to open your restaurant, right? And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a really expensive restaurant. And I think they have one in LA and Vegas and in New York. So let's say the Nobu guy came and helped you open your restaurant. Do you think you'd probably be more successful with the Nobu guy helping you than just trying to do it on your own? Right? That's exactly the service that we offer is we figured this out. We know how to do this, right? I can't guarantee you're going to be successful, but I can teach you everything that I know. And that usually will get you there faster. But you're going to have to still do work. You're going to still have to come to the restaurant and work at night.
I think that's huge because my call today actually was something similar to this effect, that they had spoken to a couple of other people in the past, and it just wasn't a good fit. And I was like, "Can you share with me what else that means? Like, what does it mean it wasn't a good fit? Was it personality, which I understand? Was it what they were trying to help you achieve? Like, what was it?" And that was essentially the case, is that they felt as if what it is that they were offering was not giving them the step by step that they needed and ultimately the results that they needed. And so when I was explaining to them like how important it is to find somebody that's doing what you want to do, I shared the fact that that's exactly how we operate. We're not creating something and saying, "Thanks, Tiana. Hope it works out for you. It worked out for us 17 years ago, so hope it works for you." Right? Like, no, like we live and breathe in these offers every single day. Like, these are active things that the business is doing every day. This is not something we created 17 years ago and just telling you the tips. Like, of course, there's things that come with it. Like, we're sharing how, you got here and how you can be successful in this. But the difference is that we're actually walking the talk too. We're walking the walk, not just
Right.
talking the
We're
talk.
talking the talk, we're
Walking the
walking the
talk.
walk. We're doing the stuff.
We're doing the thing. That's important to find when you're looking for help.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
When you brought up that Nobu thing, I don't know if this is too tangent, but it made me think of, have you seen the show Bar Rescue?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I know
Did
exactly
you
what you're
see the one
talking
with
That
about.
is what
champagne? Did you
huh?
see the one with champagnes?
Oh, I did not.
No.
Yeah, Maryland. Yeah, the champagnes was on Bar Yet Rescue.
Oh,
Oh,
no
no,
way.
I
That's
didn't.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you were
Yeah.
talking about the Nobu guy or whatever, and I was like, "This is making me think of Bar Rescue."
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
they come
So
in and,
true.
those bars open just because you open something doesn't mean it's gonna be successful, and then this guy comes in, right, and
Mhm.
he, like, helps you figure it out, but then he leaves, and he's gonna give you
Mhm.
all the tools, but, like, he's not guaranteeing anyone, right, after that,
No.
right? He
Well,
can't
like, if you
guarantee
think
that you're
about
gonna keep
it,
implementing all those things.
because if you think about it, he comes in and he just rips apart what you've done. He's like, "This isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working." But he's
Yeah,
coming
he
from a
does.
place of yeah, he's coming from a place of these things must change. You must do this differently to get this result. And
Mhm.
I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like that's a really like good way to realize that's kind of how we operate. Like, that offer sucks. You need to do it this way
I
because this
love
is
when
going to be better.
we recently had somebody who I had suggested a specific offer to her, and I was like, "This is gonna sell like hotcakes. You're so good at it. You really need to do this." And she was like, well, I started posting about it and nobody was liking it or commenting." And I was like, "That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Your current audience won't understand the new offer that you're building. You're gonna have to build a new audience for that offer, and you're gonna be running ads to it. So that doesn't matter." And she was like, "No, this is what I want to create." And because people are commenting, and I was like, "All right, good. Do what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's your business." Well, sure as poop, because I'm not cussing anymore.
You're doing so great.
Sure enough, she created the offer she wanted to create, did not create the offer that I said to create, and she's having a hard time selling it. And then the offer that I said to create, she started to build that one. I saw her videos the other day. I was like, "Girl, I told you. I told you I know what I'm doing." You know? People. Anyhow, it's fine. If like at the end of the day, like that's another thing too. Like if you want to do something because you want to do it, that's on you. Like I'm not gonna tell you you can't do something in your business. It's your choice. But I will strongly suggest what I think would work or not work. And again, there's no guarantees. I think people think because they create an online course, it's going to automatically sell. That's not the case. And a lot of times it just has to do with very simple things like what you named it, you know? Like, um, total chakra transformation is probably gonna be, like, more interesting than 5 days, 5 chakras, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not, like, whatever, I'm just coming up with stuff off the top of my head, but all I'm saying is, like, it could be the exact same course, but it just presented in a different way because it's not the best offer that wins in the market, it's the best marketed offer. And I think we know that's true because there's lots of great yoga teachers out there that aren't making any money, and they're not getting seen by anybody 'cause they have all these hangups about, "I don't wanna be online, and I don't wanna," like, I have, like, a couple of friends that are well-known yoga teachers, because I work the festival circuit, so I, like, know people, and they want me to help them for free. And I'm like, "No, girl, sorry, I cannot do that. I am so busy." Like, I am so busy, but they feel, like, entitled to that because they're someone who's a popular yoga teacher, and, like, that's not the world we live in anymore. It's more fair now. It used to be like you couldn't get into the workshops and teach at the festivals unless you know somebody, and it's still like that. But that's not the only way to make income now. Like, now you can create your own business online and you can become as famous as you want to become. And I would venture to say that we are the top people in this business for yoga teachers, helping yoga teachers build their own online business. There are other people that do it. We do it the best. We have the best results. We have the best product. We have the best course. And
Yeah.
we don't lie about it either. Our marketing's not deceiving. We don't offer guarantees because that's a lie. We don't heavy market or become salesy. Like, we actually help people. That's our primary goal. So, anyhow, um, we got it is bumping right now. I got 5 different text messages while we were on here that calls have been booked and people are coming in and all that is messages coming, people confirming. So, listen, if you wanna build an online yoga business and you're lucky enough to get a time in with us, please do go to the link below, because we don't like, Tiana was like, "Can somebody meet so and so on this time? Whatever, we don't have any times available." It is crazy.
Listen, I'm
We
gonna try to
we
get you
actually
in, but it's
we're
crazy.
trying to get you in. Somebody literally messaged her today, was like, "As I was booking, someone else took my time."
We a hot commodity, y'all. Get in while you can.
We wanna help you. There's a lot of people wanna be helped. So, if you are gonna book a call,
Yes,
be serious about it. Don't come in to
please.
find out what we're about, like, no. If you wanna come in, you're ready to sign up, book a call. If you're not ready to sign up, do some more research. Obviously, like, you'll have questions. That's why we do the call, right? But we want people to come in who are ready to do this, not sitting around like, "Maybe I should go online or I shouldn't go online." Be ready to go online, you know? And
Yes.
click the link below. If you want more information and you want to interact with us a little bit more before you book a call, then go to the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, and get into our web, be a part of what we do. And we appreciate you. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you, Francesca.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll see you all in the next Yogalebrity podcast. Like,
Bye.
subscribe, all the things, do all the things, share. Thank you. We appreciate you for being here today. Bye for now.